Damn. Move time.
Yo, it's Michael McGarahan.
B mash.
Howdy, yeehaw! It is Cameron over the hills Crawford, and
He's off his rocker today.
I'm on my rocker today, boys. You both got a little headache, but
So he's gonna be cranky.
it's gonna be a cranky, which should make it even more of a blast session. So watch out, but you know. You good?
Sorry, yeah, I'm
You
fine.
wanna stop interrupting? So,
Jeez.
I'm kidding. Long story short, it's episode 30. I'd like to just
Yeah,
a round of applause for us. 30 freaking
episodes.
episodes of this. I cannot believe that. But, you know, to
30?
celebrate.
Keep going.
Something you want to add? To celebrate, we have long-time guest making his third appearance. Please introduce yourself.
Andrew Teet Henrishon.
Yes.
And along with our good buddy Teet, we have his wonderful girlfriend who is our biggest fan. So
That's literally true.
Yes.
please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Audrey Hyde.
Yes, Audrey. I was today years old when I found out your last name was Hyde. Like right now.
Because it's just been hidden from you.
Yeah, clearly. I guess.
It
Like,
was kind of
oh,
hiding.
all right.
It was kind of hiding.
It was a little-
Oh, it was a good
all
joke.
right, I'll give you that.
The comedian.
That was a good one.
1 for 50.
So Brendan got
Yeah,
some knowledge to drop.
I don't really even have to touch on many rules because these guys know the rules. But to begin, I think actually Audrey has something to share. She has a little surprise actually.
Wait, no. Oh, what?
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Audrey has a surprise.
Wait, what?
Michael McGarahan has a present
Wait, there's a present
from
for me?
Audrey. I'd like him to open it.
What? Wait, that's
Hold up the camera.
That's my face.
Open it.
I can open
it. Open it.
All I'm saying is,
Should I open it now?
open it as I'm speaking. So
I'm kinda scared.
this
This is
present has
kinda
gone
nice.
through a lot of thought and over the past.
Stop recording.
No! I'll pause. I'll wait.
Oh no. What the fuck is this?
Dude, I have no clue. Why would it tease you like that?
Right, it went down.
Yeah.
Go find another card.
Are we gonna have to?
Everyone stay where they were. Everyone
Yeah.
just stay.
Where was I? When did it stop? We don't know.
This is
It was
rude.
We gotta go down to the band room.
What?
We gotta go down to the band room.
We
get
have
one.
to?
Yeah.
Dude, Vernon has other cards around here somewhere.
Not that are fast enough though.
Yeah, not that are fast enough.
What do you mean? There's ones in his
We might have
desk.
to
I'll literally run and get one in the band room.
we might have to retape the.
Amazing.
The
No.
beginning.
And
it's already open.
We got it.
I'm not looking. I mean,
All right.
thought we did.
we did get a good amount.
Do we want to pause the?
Yes.
audio?
Sorry, I didn't even realize that. We're back.
All right.
And
Stop hamming it
should I
up.
open the rest of this?
Yeah.
Open the rest. Okay. Of course.
Michael got a little gift from Audrey. Oh, this is incredible. Moo, go get the tissues for Mike.
Oh shit, you're right. Kleenex.
It even has a detachable stretching arm. Look at that.
Oh,
my
that's
God.
that's
The real
where,
question is,
that's
does
where
that
Michael
have
gets a little.
Yes.
Ass for Mike.
All right. Well, Audrey, I truly do thank you
Collect
for the
them all.
thoughts. I'm gonna be mad at the fact that this exists, but I just.
All right, we're gonna open it.
No. Michael's just got to keep it.
Should I open it?
Well, actually, Mike, just save
I
it
don't
for
wanna
your
open
save
it.
for your bedtime.
I'm fine actually.
Basically, that lays down one ground rule.
Mike's giving me a little
Always trust
distracted the
Mike
rest of the
for-
episode.
Always.
We might have to hide this. He might not be talking too much.
Always roast Mike for falling asleep during the movies. Roast me for liking a filmmaker. No, I'm just kidding. Croft has a headache, and that's about it. So we're good. We can.
Salty.
I believe that we have potentially some stories.
Yeah.
Potentially.
And just to reiterate, Audrey is the #1 Damco fan on the planet Earth.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
Literally.
having her today. In fact, before we jump into the story, she was just telling Michael that she got that little picture of him from a project she made. So,
Care to explain?
Okay.
What's German project? There's a lot of projects we've done.
I speak Deutsch now?
Yeah, so
Ich kann Deutsch.
Wie geht's? Sorry.
AIDS. Wait just a second.
But no, so Bridget and I, we were recreating our
Bridget
video.
and you.
Wait, is it
Okay,
sound?
keep talking. Yeah, it's going. It's literally going. All right, go
We
ahead.
were
Continue.
recreating our
Sorry.
German video,
Yes.
and so in it,
Trying
we
to
had
Which
make
one?
Have a Nick West episode.
the last one. We
The
just
train
did
station?
about
The advertisements.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
And so we had to print out a picture of a suspicious man,
What the? Oh my god.
Sus.
but then we were just like, let's just use Michael.
I
And,
guess I am kind of suspicious, so
Oh,
that makes sense, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we used that photo, and I had that
Wow.
lying around, and I just put it on your.
It's just
phone.
lying
That's perfect that
around.
you're able to reuse and
And
recycle like that.
yeah, that's pretty
Wow.
much the story.
Yeah, that's epic.
Wait,
Four
did we ever
plus.
see this in class?
No,
Wow,
You wanna
Ages
see
for-
it?
But where'd
I'd
you
love to
get?
see it.
Where'd you get
Show
the?
great.
you have a shout out at the end of it though.
Oh, that's awesome.
Where did you
That's very
get
Yeah, where did you
Elastigirl?
I don't think we need to go in depth with its origin. Yeah, so T, I think you had a story, right?
No. Where did you get Elastigirl? I know where it was from. Walmart, Target.
Best Buy.
Target.
Oh, second guess.
Target.
Alright, so we got a couple of stories, don't we?
We
Oh, yeah.
We do.
I've got.
Who wants to go?
Who wants to go
Let's
first?
go first.
I'm going. I've got a a classic story for this one, fellas.
Classic story.
How classic.
Two classic.
Classic.
We're talking about the classic story.
Oh my god.
We're talking about the origins of the nickname.
Whoa! This is a classic. This is
I think I've heard this.
Fellas.
I think I've asked the
This
origin
one-
of that name.
So his name is Teet, but it's really Andrew.
It's kind of like the things that you
Wait,
squeeze
the origin
on
of
the udder.
Andrew or the origin
Of
Oh, yeah,
Teet.
yeah.
Oh
Of
my
Teet.
God.
Of the nickname.
Oh yeah,
of the
by the
nickname.
way, vote Teet for best nickname
If
next
Andrew
year.
Yes.
doesn't win
Is it-
best nickname,
Wait.
then like
If who?
there's no point.
You know
For
the guy
me,
talking
I
about.
gotta
If
win the
Teet
best
doesn't
nickname.
win next.
I know.
Nah,
Who
no
else
one
was
else
gonna?
joking.
Who else was gonna
As
pick?
if you didn't
Dude,
know Andrew.
no one.
No,
I
I
literally
didn't
know
hear
the
they say the
nickname.
name.
I
thought
know,
you said
like,
Anthony.
out of
I'm
the-
not even kidding. I thought you said
It's gonna be
Anthony.
some.
Is there a better
It's gonna
than
be.
who?
It's gonna be some dumb popular person.
Whoa, whoa. No, no Teet.
Nah.
Not saying you're not popular.
Nah, we're
I
gonna
got it.
campaign. I'm gonna campaign for Teet for
Dude,
best
yeah.
nickname.
Honestly, like,
I'll make sure.
It is the
We'll-
best
We'll make a
nickname.
no.
So,
I'll
like-
go on the announcements because I'm taking the class next year, and I'll be like,
Oh, shit.
vote Teet for
Wait,
best.
So, do you think they'll include the nickname as well
Oh,
and
yeah.
say what it is? Did they do that this time? Did they say
I
what the
don't
nickname
know.
was? Because I feel like they could be easy to
Yeah,
be
they
like,
did. They did.
well, that's
Oh,
kind of
did they say?
offensive talking about cow udders.
Oh my
And you
God.
guys could be talking, cow udders kind of look like, you know what I'm saying?
the school
Someone's
would
gonna
do
pull
that.
bull
The school
crap.
would do that.
That's
No, she
Like,
facts.
the name's like inappropriate.
If she let
or
a
something.
dangly
all
ball
those
sack
goddamn
get in,
Hey, dang.
I don't know.
A
T
dang.
took out all
Alright.
those
Alright.
clothes
Hey,
in
tell
the
the story.
goddamn yearbook, but your quote's gonna be
You mean the gosh
no,
darn.
daily no shade, but
Daily Teet.
All right. Let's
Okay.
let's get on with it.
this is middle school. All right, 7th grade. Should I say the teacher's name?
Yes.
Yes, he's the goat.
Mr. Heggy's writing class.
Yes.
Yo.
Heggy, come
What a
on the
lad.
cast, please.
Mr. Heggie is a goat.
What a lad. Good guy.
Easy.
It was back right before Halloween. We were telling those scary short stories that we had to write. We had to
yeah,
we had to
suspense
memorize
Teet, I'm
these
spooked.
suspenseful stories, right? We had to memorize them. I was up in front of the class
Oh God.
presenting my story, all right?
Which you had memorized.
Of course.
Yes.
You know me,
So
definitely
studious.
memorizing it.
All right.
And
Oh,
I meant to say the man had sharp teeth, but I
Oh,
mispronounced
no.
the word and said the man had sharp teeth.
Oh.
You know, it was an
Ever
L.
since
Everyone was laughing. Mr.
Oh.
Heggie had tears
Really?
going down his face from how hard he was laughing. It was a good time. Then one of my buddies at the time was like, "Hey, Teet." Let's start calling him Teet. So from there
That's
on,
so sad.
the
Wow.
nickname.
Dude, that is
Who's your buddy?
the sticking.
Tyler.
Tyler started it?
Tyler
Lewis?
started it. Lewis.
Tyler
Lewis.
Lewis.
What?
Literally.
Yep, he started
He's
the
the
nickname.
creator.
Wow.
That's
That's
it.
crazy, dog.
Yeah, man. So everyone on
Brilliant
D
story.
team, or at least
You're
You know,
half of
in
the
the
team.
Yeah.
better half.
Oh, that's funny. Don't
in
get
the
me
better
on
half
this.
of D
Shall we
team.
analyze the documentary
Like,
to know about
I was there.
Bring that up.
But pretty much everyone on D team knows the story and knows the name.
It's
Teet's
a
the
legend.
best nickname.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
that's
Besides honest.
the fact.
I can't
it's
call
now,
you Andrew.
It's now.
I'm
Yeah.
never gonna call you Andrew.
Dude,
That's
it's
a
like
fact. So
I
5
used to
years
call
later.
I used to call you
It is.
Andrew for the longest time, but then
Yeah.
I gave in.
Dude, it's just like
It flows right off the tongue, you know. Teet.
That's why
Can I,
The best.
can I tell you, in my head, I love you as Andrew,
Yeah.
but
Shut
I
up.
think I think and I call you as Teet. Okay, I just
That's
wanna let you
because
know
it's
that,
my
okay?
name. As much as Pam hates my nickname, you know,
She hates
Pam,
Your
Pam with
mom
Pam's
hates it?
lasagna, you know.
I thought your mom started to like it.
No, no. She doesn't like it.
Really?
She thinks that like. I just think it's funny as hell because it's a fantastic nickname.
Yeah.
But she was just like, you know, Joe and Jake will come over and I'll be like, yo, Teet, and my mom's like, rolls her eyes.
What does she think about it? Like, she's like,
She's not a fan.
don't call my son a cow udder.
No. She doesn't say anything, but she's just like, and she'll tell me, you know, like, it's whatever. It's chill.
How
She
does
thinks
your-
it's a funny story though.
How does your dad feel about it?
Oh,
Ernie.
the man Ernie.
I've been
Oh,
meaning.
Ernie-
I've
I've
been
never
to-
heard of your dad.
I've been
Ernie
meaning
thinks
to
it's
tell you
funny.
this. I've been meaning to
Ernie's
tell
out
you
here being a
something.
lad.
All right,
Okay.
that's
Your dad looks like.
Teeth?
Sorry, popcorn and throat. Your dad looks like Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, a little
He
bit, I'd
does.
say.
Oh shoot. I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it. Okay.
Has anyone ever said that before?
No.
He
No.
does. It's like
I
that,
didn't really
like
think of it.
smile.
Oh, that's a fact. Oh,
And
I know
face.
Ernie and Pam are gonna be watching this.
Yo.
So shout out to them.
Yo,
Hey,
yo,
hi-
man.
Hi,
Nothing
Ernie.
beats the
I'm
time.
gonna apologize
there.
now
Don't
if I
go there.
curse on this
Nothing beats the
podcast.
time.
I'm sorry.
Don't go there.
Nothing beats the time Ernie
Don't.
took us to the
don't.
Metallica
All right,
concert.
good.
Dude, oh, that was a good time. Well, in the event sevenfold.
Dude,
Oh.
and Hershey
Definitely,
Park
yeah,
too,
so-
man. That was fun.
Wait,
Hershey
did he
Park.
take?
When
did
I
he
went to
take us-
Hershey Park.
Yeah, no, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
we all went together,
and then we
right?
went to Wendy's and got
Yeah.
frosted.
Oh, when we went to
Yeah.
Hershey Park.
That
Oh,
was
did my
stuff.
mom take
Your
us?
mom
out?
took us, yeah.
Dude, that was a good
She went to
time.
the water park and then we went
Yeah.
off and did stuff.
Oh yeah, dude, that was a good time.
That was good
Yeah,
stuff.
Good.
dude. Oh,
So Audrey,
I want to hear an Audrey story.
Yeah.
what's your story?
Okay. So my story's not really about me, but it's
What?
about.
Just kidding. It's fun.
I was there,
Oh, okay.
Oh,
but it's about my friend Elisa.
Who?
So this was over the summer, and so me and my two friends, we all live in the same cul-de-sac. And sometimes at night we have to like sneak out and just like hang out. Oh no, we just hang out in the cul-de-sac. It's a fun time.
all right.
Oh, I hope
Cold
it's
sack.
not bad.
And so, my friend Elisa, the way she gets out is she jumps off her roof into a bush in between her driveway and our neighbor's driveway.
Bushwhackers.
Yo, Lisa.
yeah.
Oh,
Lisa.
you mean Elise? That's
Oh,
her name.
no.
Lisa?
Oh.
That's what he called her when he first met her.
It's Elise.
Did she go to West or nah?
She was a STEM.
Explains it.
Lame.
Those STEM kids, man.
So.
Wait, so she
Shout out
jumps
to
off,
Ali, though.
had like a 2-story roof, kind of, John?
Yeah.
Or like a, into a bush.
Into a bush.
What kind of bush we talking?
We're talking
No,
like.
no. All agricultural, like no, never mind. no, vegetational, like
We talking
what kind- like,
spiky?
is it, yeah, exactly.
or
Like,
soft?
the texture.
Cause that if that John's spiky, like miss me.
It's like the
Just
other
throw a
guys,
blanket
It's
first.
just like,
Throw a blanket
it's like
first.
the other guys aim for the bushes.
I'd say it's,
Never seen the other guys?
No.
Damn.
See 5 guys.
Michael.
it's a relatively soft bush.
Okay.
But
Oh,
on this,
God.
this particular night, Elisa missed the bush.
Oh my god.
No.
Wait, what?
And fell to her death.
And so basically, she landed in our neighbor's driveway.
Like the
Oh my god.
Like,
asphalt. Jeez Louise.
like feet first.
Ow.
She twisted her ankle. We had to carry her back to
Damn.
like my house. It was the whole thing. And then in the morning when she had to like go talk to her parents, we had to like make up this whole story
Yeah.
Wow.
about like her
I
like
hope
falling
Elisa's
down the
parents aren't
stairs.
listening right now.
Yeah.
Yo,
Elisa's
But,
parents.
Yo.
Yo.
Yeah.
Wait, so what happened? Did she get in trouble? Did she break her foot?
So no, she just like made up a whole excuse about how she like fell down the stairs like when her parents weren't there. And
Wow.
she called and said that she like had her friends like come over and help us. And basically they took her to the doctor and
The rest is history.
yeah.
Kinda
rest is
epic.
history.
They arrested her?
No.
They were,
Oh, rest is history.
they arrested her for swearing.
There was the.
Stop jumping off the roof.
That's insane.
Against the law.
But-
PSA to our viewers: don't jump off the roof.
So, yeah, don't do it. It's not worth it.
Or is
Wow.
it? Nah, just sneak out the front door. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, why did
Like-
she go on the roof like that? What was wrong with
No.
her?
Guard dogs.
Let's be real. Most
Correct.
parents go to bed at
Alarm
like
system.
10.
Kind of fact.
So
That's a
like
fact,
just
yeah.
leave.
So just
All right. Two great stories, but shall I move into the topic I wanted to speak about?
Well, I kind of want to hear about sweatshirt.
Yeah, same.
Oh, you right. You right.
So I'll give a little backstory. So
Oh no. Not the sweatshirt.
Episode 3.
Teet has come on episode 26, Raging Bull. I think that's right.
Yes.
As a call-in, and episode 3 we had Teet and Joe Martino on.
Shout out to Joe.
Yo Joe. But
Joe.
you see, the thing is,
Teet's hot.
the thing that's interesting is we're at episode 30, so this was a fat like 8 months ago that we had him on. And this was the 3rd episode. This is the extremely early stages, probably the worst episode. No offense. Not because of you, it just was.
didn't someone's shirt come off?
Oh wait.
Oh.
No, I think someone sure did come off.
Yes, during
yeah.
episode
Oh,
3.
That,
During episode
Alright,
three. It's probably
alright.
cropped. It's probably
It was
cropped.
bad.
Nah, so
But anyway,
basically,
we had.
let me give.
I mean,
Teet
Michael's
reasoning
mom
so we don't
was
put him on
there,
blast too much.
so-
It was because we were not used to the environment.
It was my
So
basement.
it
Yeah.
felt very
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
Cam just wanted to show off his pecs to Michael's mom. Like, I mean, we all know that's what it is. But I mean, I'm not trying to roast Cam or anything, but like, he was talking to Michael's mom for like at least 20 minutes today. We went by. I went to the calf.
She
I went
works here. What am I
by,
supposed to
and
do?
he was
Ignore like
standing there
TK?
talking to her. And then we walked back. He was still talking to her. So
I'm not just gonna ignore her. Push her
mean,
into a locker, give
I,
her
like,
swirly. What
can't,
am I
like-
supposed to do?
I don't know. It's like every lunch you go over, you talk to her for a while.
Yeah, I do, because I'm a kind.
I'm not trying to say that you're doing.
She was
but,
upstairs.
I mean, you did have your shirt off at Michael's house with Michael's mom there. So like, you put 2 and 2 together, like.
For one, it's her house, so yeah, obviously she's there. Second, I like to take my shirt off. Everyone who knows me knows.
Sure you do.
You know
Of
what?
course.
Oh no! Not in the school.
So does that mean you're trying to get with the superintendent?
What?
Yo, Artie.
Oh, true.
So, alright. I ain't gonna dispute your statement, because my shirt was off in the McGarrahan household. So what? Sue me.
All right. It was a good night though.
That was a good
So,
night.
and-
Really bad episode, but
Yeah.
good night.
Good time.
Good memories.
Still got like
And Wendy's.
200
Do
views.
Wendy's.
Oh yeah. But essentially,
It's true.
we had a topic on episode 3. You can go back and check it out. Where we debated the idea of guys giving girls their sweatshirts when they are dating. And Teet, this is before he was with Audrey, said, I would never do that. That's the stupidest thing. I hate people that do that. And Teet, have you stayed true to your feelings about that, or have you
Do we want to flash?
changed like a little hypocrite?
Yeah, we're gonna flash back to that, by the way.
Fellas, I got some distressing news.
Aw,
I may
sold out.
or
dude.
may not
Turn to the
Have
dark side.
given Audrey my sweatshirt.
Boy!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Wow, a man that doesn't stay
I'm
true to
sorry.
his word.
Upon review of episode 3, we have realized that Teet did not specifically provide opposition towards the wearing of a boyfriend's sweatshirt. He merely told a story of negative tone regarding the situation in which the boyfriend was left to struggle.
I'm sorry. And I let her wear my leather jacket before too. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The
I'm
leather
sorry.
jacket.
That's where we draw the
I'm
line.
sorry.
All right, the
wore
sweatshirt.
it.
Okay, wear the sweatshirt. The leather
That's
jacket.
vintage Teet right there.
I'm sorry. She wore my leather jacket. I let her wear it. She was cold. I let her wear the leather jacket.
Oh,
She was
beautiful.
cold. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No.
Appeal to the fans.
To quote Kelso in that 70s show, he can't control the weather. Pack your own sweatshirt. No offense.
Damn, Jackie, I do.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Were you actually cold?
Or you just wanted to
Or did
smell
you just
Teet.
want the
No.
teeth?
No, I'm gonna expose Andrew here.
No, whoa,
Who's
I don't
Andrew?
need to be
There's
exposed.
more.
Wait.
No, no,
You
no.
wanted
Who is-
the sweatshirt.
Who's Andrew?
You wanted
Who
the
the frick
sweatshirt.
is in?
Oh, no. We're not talking about the sweatshirt here. We're talking about the leather jacket.
Oh no, we don't need to talk about that.
Audrey, who is Andrew?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Teet. Okay.
There we go.
Do you call him Teet?
Not really.
No.
Not really. Like,
Well, you should stop.
No.
Why?
You don't do
This is where it started.
Yeah, this is where it's.
It's. I mean,
I
she's
sometimes
like.
call him Teet, but like I usually just call him
Yeah.
Andrew.
You're never like, oh, Teet.
Oh, jeez.
No.
It's to impress Pam, isn't it?
Remember those sideburns?
Oh.
Dude,
Whoa,
you know,
Audrey.
I shaved today, and I was thinking, I was like, yo, what if I brought the sideburns back just for the
Yo.
episode? I shaved.
Dang, you should.
Oh,
What do you think this is? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, what do you think this is? I'm gonna.
Say it. All right, good.
That's what I thought.
So
Anyways.
Audrey, expose Teety Pie.
Whoa. You really trying to expose me here?
Yeah.
What did I do? What did I do? What did I do?
Teet, silence.
No more speaking.
He's gonna deny this. But every time that he's given me his leather jacket, it's always him initiating
Multiple?
it. I've never asked for it or said like I'm cold.
Teet!
Time
Whoa,
and
whoa.
initiation.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
every time.
Okay.
How many?
Okay.
Teet, hand
Okay.
over your pink hat.
Okay.
Okay, we get it.
All right. There has been times that I've given her my leather jacket. There's been more than once. Okay. It's only been less than a handful. Right?
How much is a handful?
Yeah.
But those were cold days. I could tell that she was shivering, right? So I'm like, I'm not cold, you know? So maybe I'm gonna give her my goddamn jacket. That's all I'm saying, all right? She's cold. I'm like, I guess. I asked her, I'm like, hey, do you want my jacket? She says yes. I give her my leather jacket.
Wait,
Okay?
That's the.
that's not how
I'm
it
being
sounded
a
coming
gentleman. We're talking about being a gentleman here.
All right.
Okay? We're talking about being
In
a
Teet's
gentleman.
defense, I'll come to your defense now.
Yeah.
In Teet's defense, on episode 3, we were talking about permanently giving
Yeah.
sweatshirts for like school days and all that.
Where's the
That's
proof?
That's my defense.
That's actually
Proof is in the pudding.
That's my only defense for Teet. But the leather jacket, man.
Yeah.
Fellas, I'm sorry.
So what did you do when you were cold? After you gave her your sweatshirt?
He
I
wasn't
wasn't cold.
Yeah.
Teet,
Why'd you have a sweatshirt
Get a
on?
man up.
But the point is that you were leather jacketless.
I just want to say we're really disappointed in you, and if you could hand back your pink hat in the next 3 business days.
Oh, you can't take away his
not the
lad
pink hat.
status now.
Yeah.
I can't not be a lad. I
I
can't
mean,
not
this
be a
man still has
lad.
a pink hat and he killed
Dude,
Primo.
he
Bro.
killed Primo. He killed Primo.
I erased his
What's
face
worse?
out.
What's worse?
No, I'm just kidding.
Killing
Oh, did you guys?
Murdering
Did you
Primo.
guys see who rewrote his
Or like-
face on?
Oh yeah, I was this close. No, I'm kidding.
That was me.
That was you.
Did you draw it?
That was you. Oh my god.
Dude,
I was in there for drumline and I saw it and I was like, you know what? I'm
They-
just gonna
they must
redraw
think
it
this
and
is
see
a
what they
joke.
say.
They think it's a joke.
You guys
I mean,
think
we
it's
erased
serious.
it.
You guys
It's
think
because it
serious.
is a joke.
No, I'm just kidding.
Don't bring this up. Don't make me call
Are
you.
you
out.
on-
No,
If I get
no.
hit again, my
Dude,
knuckles.
I got
will
40
be-
minutes of built-up rage.
No,
Oh, yeah.
no, Teet.
48.
All right.
So Moo had a topic you wanted to get into.
I do have a topic I want to get into because people have been having some thoughts on this. In my opinion, uneducated thoughts, but let me continue. So, recently it was announced for 2021, I believe, that Robert Pattinson is going to be playing the new Batman. If you don't know who Robert Pattinson is, he was the guy in Good Time, the guy in High Life, also the guy in Twilight. But after you guys go around and some of you give your poor opinions, I'll come around and tell you why he's a great choice for Batman.
I have no
So-
opinion.
I do not really know. Robert Pattinson is his name.
Robert Pattinson.
I don't really know much about him. He was the dude in Harry Potter and the dude in Twilight thing.
Oh, yeah, Cedric.
yeah.
What I have to say is, do you recall when we had Mr. Turner on, we talked about the idea of Harrison Ford not being cast for Indiana Jones possibly because people would just think of him as Han Solo. Do you remember that? So what if people just think of this man as a vampire from Twilight, and they're like, Batman?
That's all I can see.
That's all. That's the only input I
Yeah.
have. Like,
Yeah, as of
look,
now. But remember, Harrison Ford.
That's
wherever
true,
he was
that's true.
cast,
He was good.
everyone now sees him as both Indiana Jones because he proved himself to be amazing. And bring it back over to me. All right, I'm going.
I don't
off.
think they would
That's
choose
fair.
him. I don't think they would choose him if they didn't think that he was going to be a good actor for the role.
Let's put it this way: Robert Pattinson, this guy, feels bad that he was in Twilight, but then again, Twilight is such a bad movie not because of him, but because of the scripts. No actor, no matter how good, can deliver dialogue that bad in a respectable way. And even Robert Pattinson himself admits how bad the Twilight movies are.
I haven't seen
And
Twilight
if
since
you
I was
want me to
85.
give you any
I've never seen the movie.
reference,
Bad.
if you go to the director's commentary on Twilight, this is actually hilarious, but the director's commentary of Twilight, it's the director, Robert Pattinson,
no.
and Kristen Stewart, or yeah, whatever her name is. And it's so funny because the director's trying to explain like significance in the movie and whatnot, and Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart are just having a field day, just completely trashing the movie. It's
Wow.
so funny. But this man, Good Time, that movie, I can't recommend it enough. One day it'll be a podcast recommendation, but
Wow.
Good Time should have won the Oscar for it.
I got a question for you.
Give me the question.
This isn't real Robert Pattinson. I apologize. We'll get back to that.
100%.
Have you heard of a movie coming out called Booksmart?
Yes.
Opinions, thoughts?
You know, critics are eating that movie up and all, and maybe it is a good movie. I'm not gonna rush out and see it in theaters because the trailer looked
I agree.
pretty boring to me and like bland from a visual standpoint, and I didn't really dig the dialogue. But people are really loving it, and I will give it a chance once it comes to like a red box or something. But I'm not gonna rush out and see it in theaters. But maybe it's good.
Understandable. They're calling it a female Superbad.
Oh, I've heard about that.
What are some movies coming out to theaters? Because I have like no.
Oh, this one's gonna get you excited. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
You know who directed it.
You know who directed it.
Haha. Any others?
All right. Later this year,
Joker.
well, yeah, Joker's coming out. A lot of people are excited
Joaquin
for that.
Phoenix.
Yeah, I love Joaquin Phoenix.
I don't know how to feel about it, man.
I need to watch it to know really. But another one I'm very excited for, Parasite, directed by Bong Joon-ho. If that name doesn't ring a bell,
Is that,
episode Memories of Murder.
Oh,
13.
yeah.
Nick West, baby.
Yeah,
that
his
was
new
really
movie.
good.
His new movie comes out later this year, which I'm very, very excited for. Terrence Malick, director of Thin Red Line and Badlands, has a new movie coming out later this year.
Those are the war movies, right?
Yeah.
Those tank.
Thin Red Line's a war movie. Badlands
remember
is
that.
Badlands was once a recommendation, but some conflicts happened. But
Yeah, I forget what
I think
happened
you
with
watched that one, right?
I don't.
I
You did.
still- Wait, I did?
I thought I did.
I was
Wait,
singing
where?
a song from it, and you're like, "That's Badlands."
I love Badlands. It's the one with
Why would I not?
Martin Sheen. It's Martin Sheen, Sissy Spacek. It's like a Bonnie and Clyde-esque type of movie where Martin Sheen goes like killing people.
You know, I was like,
There's a scene where the dad shoots the dog.
I literally have no recollection of this.
You know, it has like the. Yeah, you definitely were asleep, man.
Wait, what, at your house?
Pull
did I
up a
see it?
picture. Pull up a picture. I want
You-
to see if I
It
recognize
was at
it.
your
I
basement.
don't think I.
I
seen
think
it.
I think I was.
All right, I'll
Wait,
keep
no,
talking.
I was thinking this. I was like,
I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
baby,
No,
and
I
you're
got
like,
it. I'll
oh,
look it
that
up.
was.
Yeah.
And you're having a field day. All right, never mind.
Hold on.
Badlands,
Okay.
Martin Sheen. He wears the jean jacket, the white shirt, the jeans. You know,
He's got
Into-
no idea.
Oh wait, Badlands.
just Badlands.
Oh!
There we go.
Definitely fell asleep.
Oh! The title was not ringing a bell. Oh yeah. I watched this at my house. Oh yeah,
Oh,
I really
that's a
Why would I
knowing
not?
sign that
Yeah,
he fell
yeah,
asleep.
no, I
Man,
did
I
not.
hate being right all the time.
Shut the hell up, Cameron.
Okay. All right. Well.
Jesus. Oh, pardon my French. Oh yeah.
All right. Well, Terrence Malick has a new movie coming out this year.
Now I recognize.
Shut the hell up, Cameron.
Sorry.
The Lion King's coming out. Don't see it.
Are you,
It looks
though?
garbage. And
I'm going to see it. I'm just kidding.
Make my skin crawl.
Lion King, Bird Box, Double Feet. Just
All right.
kidding.
Anyways, You know what? I'll just make a list. I don't feel like it's worth our time for me to just list these movies right now. Robert Pattinson is going to be a great Batman. If anyone thinks otherwise, find me in the hallway. Square up. Is there another topic you want to talk about? You boys want to talk about Ready Day or something? or-
Scotty.
I don't know. I don't know if there's much to. It went pretty well.
Oh,
What
I
do you guys-
got,
do you guys
I
think
got
it's-
something to say. I
okay.
got something to say.
I think I think we should talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, we've been recording this podcast since August, and tomorrow's my last day of school. Now we got a big episode lined up for next week.
Yep.
But obviously after that, there are gonna be some changes. Hopefully, we'll still continue to record, but chances are we will not be in this room, just because school's gonna be done.
Well, next week it will.
Well, after next
I
week.
mean,
After next week.
there's a will. There's a way.
Yeah, that's true. Or we'll probably just cop the Yeti for the summer.
That'd be hype.
Probably just cop the Yeti for the summer.
But yeah.
But I just want to say it's really the end. It's not over yet, and it never will be truly. But I just want to thank the viewers, especially you two, for sticking with us for a whole ass year, 9 months, and it means a lot. But more than that, I want to thank the three of you.
Sorry, I just when you said a year and then 9 months.
Oh yeah.
I'm in
No, but I
school
hear
year.
you. I
It's
get
a
it.
school year.
I get it. Yeah.
Well, Cam. I
Stuck-
mean, we're
hey,
gonna.
It's been.
I was a little
it's been
stuck in the
pleasure.
middle.
Yeah, it's been
more than a pleasure.
I'll give
the.
I was a little stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
Just don't get too excited now.
Well, yeah, just to give a little kind of memory. I still remember that night sitting before the first, sitting at my kitchen table before we were gonna record the podcast the next day, and we were like going ham in the group chat, like talking about stuff. I just remember the name,
400.
but I just remember like that I
Mega Cut experience.
yeah, it had been oh my god,
Big cuts.
it had been a
big
while.
cut.
It was gonna be dang cuh.
Yeah.
Or CM
Yeah,
cubed.
CM
Oh
cubed.
yeah, CM cubed or the big cut.
But like
experience.
nothing replaces that kind of excitement that
Yeah,
I had.
I was
Like
very
that day,
excited.
that whole day, I'm like, I can't wait until the end. Like that's like, literally, that's what it was like in the street. I'm sorry.
I can't wait, Captain. I'm giving her all she's got. I can't wait.
Nah, I know what you mean. We probably bombed 400 text messages back and
Yeah,
forth within
about what
like
the freaking
5
time
minutes.
is. Yeah.
I'm gonna go in more about the memory lane type stuff and
Yeah.
final regards like next week or something. But what's it called? I have one thing to say about Ready Day. It's like a
Explain what Ready Day is.
all right. So Ready Day is when the 8th graders come to the school and we introduce them. And I understand you're trying to get them hyped for the school and stuff, but sometimes I feel like it goes a little overboard with the false expectations it sets for the school.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
You mean like relative to what really is high school?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that I love this school. I truly do. I think it's a phenomenal place and it's a very safe school. The teaching staff is wonderful. Like I love this school. It's truly beautiful place. Downtown West.
Yeah, no
with
matter
this-
how much we might say like, oh, West is like classic
I-
West, like garbage and
Yeah,
stuff.
I love
like,
this school.
yeah,
I think it's a
yeah.
wonderful
Oh,
school.
that's fun.
But
Well,
at-
Maybe not fun, but like it's a good
Think
school.
about what we can
It's a
do
good
here.
school.
Yeah, it's a good
It
school.
is a good school.
and people are great in the school. But I can't get over how annoying it is to see just like sharks and like stupid like I get the posters and like the West and whatnot, but like come on now, you're painting the picture of the school completely wrong. Like people are walking down, some of the mentors walking down, they're like, this is the math hall, you're gonna have a ton of fun here. I'm like, no you're not.
Yeah.
Me and Croft did.
Oh yeah. No.
Shoot.
Trust me. If you get Mrs. McJill in 7th period, you will be in for the ride of your life. But besides that, it's
Yeah, she's
it's not gonna be anything special.
But like, I think I hate the idea that like I remember even in middle school. I remember like when I got back because I went to STEM Shadow Day. I wasn't supposed to go here until
Oh.
summer. The summer of
You traitor!
I was at STEM Shadow Day. The summer of the July of that year. I made a last minute decision and flipped it around and went to West.
Good.
Greatest decision of my life.
There.
Yeah.
But The one thing I appreciate about STEM is they did not hide the facts. You just sat with the students and went with them, and the teachers taught class like every single day. It was pretty hysterical. But when I got back to school and like everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, West looks so much fun. Everyone looks so chill. Everyone's looking like they're having the time of their life." I'm like, wow. You actually come here like a lot of people are having fun, but it's like half the time people are walking down the hallways like it's some false expectations.
Yeah.
It's still a great school, and if you chose to go West, if some 8th graders are listening to it, you made the right decision because
true.
you can do a ton of fun stuff here. But don't expect it to be some Hawaiian fairy tale land.
Oh, if you're in drumline, it might as well be a Hawaiian fairy tale.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
I got 2 stories. So the first is, so I feel like as far as Ready Day, personally, I feel like I lived off the hype for like the first 2 years almost. Like, whoa, I'm in high school, like drumline, upperclassmen, like this is so great. And like by the middle of sophomore year, I was like, all right, it's kind of drawing. Junior year, grinded, and now I'm like crawling to the finish line. Damn, Cub boys the only ones making me stay through.
Yeah.
Only reason I'm still kicking. But so your boy was part of this senior skit panel this afternoon where me, some of the seniors, basically do a skit in a panel and answer any questions. Basically, just run through what a day is like in high school. And Charlie Norwood comes up to me with a microphone during the panel and says, "Yo, tell them about your podcast." And the 8th graders start going ham. They're flipping. They're like, "Yo, I've listened to such a good podcast." And then the 8th graders like, "Damn," they're like, "I love Damn Cool Podcast."
Wait. I might know some of them.
Ooh.
I didn't catch their names.
I remember when you said you remember you said
a song here.
oh Jimmy.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
And also
sup,
yeah,
8th graders.
Yeah. Do you remember when you said something? You were like, "Yeah, you said my freshman year is pretty cool" or something like that. You're like, "But now it was really fun. It's like now I have a podcast." And then I was like in the auditorium. I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
you're like, I can't wait.
Yeah.
West
That's another one, Michael.
Some advice for the 8th graders. West is what you make out of it. Like,
Facts.
One thing,
just gotta do as much as you can. Just have fun and obviously do your work because that's very important. You don't want to be catching up on it and being in this time crunch where your last few years are like miserable. But make sure you have a good time. I mean, like, if you want to create something, then just create it. Like, this podcast has made life so much better, and it was just an off the whim discussion, and it happened. And if any of you lads are just thinking about making something, just do it.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
I wouldn't even consider this like a school activity, even though it kind of is. Like,
Just based
But
on
with your-
location.
but like, yeah, school people,
And
people at the
utilize
school
what the
appreciate it.
school-
It's kind of a big deal at West. For people who don't go to West, like low key, damn, cause kind of a big deal. Not to sound cocky, but like, Audrey and Teet, I want to hear what you guys have to say.
I mean, honestly, it's just like making like the most of everything you do. Like, honestly, like just like do all you can. Try to do like a whole bunch of activities.
Do
Try
a
to
shit ton of clubs.
Dude, that's a fact. Honestly, like I did musical randomly sophomore year. I did crew because Jake Tomzak was like, "Yo, you gotta do crew with me," and like we were making a joke because there was this one girl there, and we were like, "Yo, you gotta keep this girl away from Jake," you know. So it was like this joke.
Oh, I probably.
So we were like, I was like, "Fuck it, why not? I'm gonna join, right?" I'm sorry. Oh no. But I joined, and it was honestly like one of the best experiences
Oh
I've ever
yeah,
had.
musical
Musical's
was
fun.
Yeah.
like
Also,
one of the
just
best
I
things.
joined sophomore year too.
Same,
It's so much
same.
fun. Like it's so
Same.
great.
I also joined sophomore year.
Dude,
Wait a minute, sophomore.
Sophomore.
Adam's Family was a hype show.
I heard it
Also,
was.
for
That was freshman year,
for,
I
for
wasn't.
8th graders,
Either, yeah.
instead of like trying new clubs and stuff, I'm gonna just tell you straight up which clubs are the best to join.
Oh God.
Damka, Musical, Mr. West,
Men's choir.
Choir.
Men's Choir, Drumline
Women's
for the
choir
first
is a
3
thing,
years, then
but,
quit.
Like, men's choir is better.
jazz band.
Oh,
Actually,
Trash can.
trash can
Club.
duty, trash can percussion, math
Math
club.
club.
Is math club fun?
Math
Heck
club.
yeah.
Let me put it this
Yeah,
way, all right? So
Math
half the
club.
time you just play the card game 24, just with the lads. You just chill out, just
crazy.
play. Dr. Valentine, shout out to Dr. Valentine, such a nice lady. She just like makes food for you. Like she'll like bring in like cookies or something. Like it's amazing.
That's
It's
amazing.
such a nice time. I guess you learn
Landon's
some, but
there.
Landon's there. Chess club, chess club,
Chess club.
100%.
Mr. Bradley Bose, my brother runs that club.
Chess club is so much fun.
Join that club.
Bowling club while it lasted.
Was it, how many meetings you guys had? Like one? Oh gosh.
I want to talk some Scott.
Oh, German club too. Cam can tell you.
Yo, wait,
It's
German
amazing.
club?
Deutsch Club is the
Yeah,
best. You
it's-
get
it's the
some
best.
big
Frau really
fat
hooks you
ice
up.
cream. Wait, what?
Frau really hooks you up. At
It's
every
true.
meeting, there's like always food.
Yeah.
Frau's amazing.
Apple
It's- it's-
strudel
it's-
and ice cream and Marv.
She got mad at me because I only went to get the food, and she wrote my name down because I signed up, and I never
Same.
came back.
Yeah, because everyone had to pay like $10 or something.
I,
I
mean, I
ain't
only
paying
speak
10
Spanish. I don't know how to do the other shit.
The other what?
You
That's
heard
fine.
me.
You can- you
Nah,
can
it's
say
alright.
that.
Nah, German's better than Spanish.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
All right.
Yeah.
Trying to talk some
Let's talk Pilgrim.
All I know
Yeah, let's
is
talk some.
Choose Younger.
So
Scott.
I'll introduce it.
Why don't you let Teet introduce?
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to.
Oh,
I
wait.
mean,
I
I'll
mean, why
introduce
not?
this one, fellas.
Alright.
You got Scott Pilgrim versus the
You're
World.
stealing my job.
One of the best movies
Give it the
ever
year, give it the
created.
year.
The oh shoot, I forgot what year it is. Oh no! I'm sorry.
Who's
Isn't it
introducing
2000?
2010.
I
don't
thought
get
it
it
was
back. You
2010.
don't get it back.
I thought it was 2010. I was about to say 2010, but I was like, dude, if I'm wrong on this one,
Yeah.
like that's just bad.
I'm glad you were saying you
Dude,
checked about that. You
1970.
admitted to
Yeah.
not knowing.
Of course. Scott Pilgrim, directed by the man, the myth, the legend himself, Edgar Wright. The soundtrack, you got Beck helping him out with that soundtrack. What a film! What a great film! It's my favorite movie of all time.
Whoa.
I love it, and I think it's so great.
Surprise.
No, no, I'm just saying that.
It's a big statement, but it's a true statement.
Yeah.
And because it is, in my opinion, probably the best film I've seen,
It's
That's
wonderful.
awesome.
personally.
It is.
Just like
Let me ask
everything
you
about it.
this. What makes it the best film?
Oh, you got amazing actors. You've got an amazing soundtrack. You've got amazing editing. The editing to it is amazing. It's so good. Just like Edgar, like you have Edgar Wright, okay?
true.
The writing is also fantastic. Here,
It is one of the most well-written movies, but the editing, that's one of my go-to movies right before I make any movie. A lot of times, like me and Bryn Mawr, shout out to Bryn Mawr,
Yo,
Mason
Bryn.
Coburn, GOAT. So before editing Trombone, right, we're on this 48-hour time crunch and all that. But as soon as we finish filming, 'cause that was like exhausting, we come back, sit on his couch, and then take a 5-minute break, and we're like, want to watch some Scott Pilgrim to get some inspiration for editing, because every Edgar Wright movie is editing like feat. Like it's some of the most brilliant editing. The way that, oh my gosh, the way he uses quick cuts, the way he transitions into scenes, everything flows so well. It improves. The pacing is so wonderful in all his movies just
Yes.
because everything flows together so nicely. And he uses editing for comedic value as well. Like, oh my gosh, there's some hilarious edits. Like when Knives is at the window and he'll just cut in like 3 times super fast. Like he does so many cool things with the editing.
Bro, Michael and I watched back the scene with Knives like jumping out the window.
Yeah.
or-
No, when he
he jumps out the window.
Because it's like
It was
the
the
camera. The
funniest
camera
thing.
like it kind of parallaxes
So,
around a little bit,
yeah.
and then it's like to almost show him hiding, and then nope, he comes
But you
back in
could
frame and
totally
freaking-
tell because he runs out of frame and then jumps through the window.
It's very
But you
funny,
could tell
yeah.
that's like a stunt guy just like just jumping
but-
One of
out.
my favorite transitions
So
is
good.
this. It's like the simplest one is when Ramona's like, "Oh, where is it?" And he says, "Oh, it's this place called the Boom," and then it's like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
I was
it's
just
that-
gonna
and
say
then
that,
it's the
I love
sign.
the-
It's amazing.
But he said like
yeah.
the first
Yeah,
like
it's like
it's like the-
perfect.
I love the
yeah.
transition when he's talking, she's talking about Envy Adams, and then he's like, "So what are you saying about me?" And then it transitions to her, like it cuts over to her talking, and it's on the different location completely, and she's like, "You're such a talented guy," and all that. Like,
Yeah.
the cuts are so wonderful.
Really good.
Okay. One of an amazing transition is when Scott Pilgrim and Knives are in the library, and you can hear in the background, you can hear you hear the music starting to play.
Yep.
You hear the single note that Scott is playing.
Yeah, with the
And then it
D's.
keeps going, and then it's on his face, goes over, and then
Yeah.
But
Oh my God.
another
It's
thing
so
about
good.
the editing is that Edgar Wright does something where he uses like what would be seen as continuity errors in most movies as a joke, like when he doesn't have the hat on and she says the hair is shaggy, and then it
Oh,
just
yeah.
It's back on. That's
Like,
amazing.
That's some,
Multiple
that's some
times.
brilliant stuff. Like when he writes films, he writes it in a way where he incorporates all the aspects of cinema to flourish out the comedy, because many directors just write like a joke or like improvise here funny material, but
Yeah.
he goes down meticulously, thinks of how to use the background for comedy, like when Julie, like this is something that I only noticed on like my 7th watch, when they're just walking in the CD store after like Julie's like, it's over there where it says Clash the Demon Head, like that scene.
Yeah.
The next shot when they're just walking, Julie's still just standing there looking like that,
Yeah.
out of focus. And it's so funny. Like, he uses everything to his advantage. The way people pop into frame or pop out of frame, he's a visual genius. He is insane.
Dude, who did like the VFX on that?
The
Yeah.
visual
What the
effects
heck?
are so
What the
Because
heck?
what?
Oh my
It felt like I was watching like someone play a video game.
dude, the visual effects are
No.
so good.
memory card.
They're
full.
so good. Oh my
I
god.
told you to format it.
I did. That's
It went through 32 gigs.
It's so good.
All right, audio for the rest of it.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
fine.
like we need anything more.
That's
visual.
crazy.
But yeah, no, the visual effects. What I love about the visual effects in this movie is the fact that for the action scenes, especially, what Edgar Wright and the whole team do is like, there's still such a high level of choreography and cinematography done where it's not all visual effects. Like, you can tell there's insane stunts going on. There's brilliant like fight scenes. Like, he said that one of the choreographers in the Luke Cage fight scene was one of the guys that Jackie Chan used to work with. So like he got like top-notch stunt people to help him choreograph these stunts, and it really shows. The blending of practical and visual effects is
Yeah.
so nice to see,
With
because
the coins.
especially with a movie that's so focused on this video game aesthetic, it's a common thing for many filmmakers to just do these huge CG sequences. But the fact that he chose where the CG is, he knows would be good, because it's not a high budget movie. So he pick and chooses, and
Yeah.
it really shows.
Yeah, it's amazing like how the fight scenes. It's not just them like fighting. There's so much more to follow and progress. Like I really like the one when he's first fighting.
Matthew Patel.
Yeah, I think.
Patel.
But I think whatever. It's the one with the battle of the bands. It's like the first one.
Yeah.
But it's like that one.
Battle
Yeah.
of Patel.
When he's fighting him, but like there's so much like going on. I remember watching this and being overwhelmed. Like, how do you even think about like what is gonna come next in the editing? It's like there's
Do I drop the bomb?
what?
So Michael, when you first saw this movie, it was at my house, correct?
No. Wait, no. What happened?
When you first saw the movie, it was at
I
my
did
house.
see it at your house.
Well, when you first saw the movie, because I remember looking over to you.
No, that did not happen.
An hour into the movie, I look over to you, and you're fully zoinked.
Are you serious?
Yup.
Michael!
That makes no sense.
It was-
Michael!
we did a
This is
triple
Scott Pilgrim
feature
and
I
that
know
Shaun.
day.
we did.
We did Drive.
Oh, wait.
We watched Drive, Grand Budapest, and Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim, yeah.
You were half asleep for Grand Budapest, and you were
What?
fully asleep for Scott Pilgrim.
Hey,
No,
I got
that
something to
makes
say.
no
I got something to say.
I had a confession.
way.
Do you know who else fell asleep watching Scott Pilgrim the first time? Brendan Mascherino.
Oh shit!
The first time watching it,
No.
Brendan Mascherino falls asleep.
No, I
Tread
did.
carefully.
I did
All right,
fall
at least he's
asleep.
admitting.
Okay.
No, I did.
Brendan
No,
and Michael.
I
both
told
falling
Michael.
asleep
No,
watching.
dude, I told Michael. I said I fell asleep during the movie, and
You
he's
told
like,
me
"It's
you just-
fine."
Oh, I
and
didn't
then
know
Michael
that.
said
I
it's
thought you
fine
stopped.
because Michael said it's fine because I fell asleep for 3 minutes. Dude, you said this morning. Michael, you said this
I was
morning.
gonna tell you.
I sent it. I sent it to. I fell asleep
I
for 3
literally
minutes.
don't argue back. I told you that
I'm not arguing. I'm telling
I told
you.
you that I'm admitting that happened. I thought you were talking about me falling asleep when I was watching it the other time. That's a different story.
I didn't fall asleep for half the movie. I probably fell asleep for like 2 minutes out of the movie.
Wait, when?
I don't
When you
wanna
watch
hear
it.
All right.
Kind of like how
Okay,
Michael
okay,
fell asleep for
okay.
10 seconds.
Yeah,
during
okay,
the
Okay.
game.
Okay. All right.
All right.
So,
I hate a
so
confession.
obviously, you know from
Oh.
Michael. So, Michael, how long did I fall asleep for?
For when? Wait, for which one?
Oh well, I don't know
First
from
viewing and
Michael.
second viewing. 'Cause
You
you watched it
told
two-
me
you watched- there's 2 times you
yourself
attempted
that
to
you
watch
fell
it.
asleep
Yeah,
watching the movie.
yeah, I did. It
Fell
was.
asleep
a
watching
big
Scott
man to
Pilgrim.
admit that.
Wait, the
Yeah.
first time or the
Versus
second
world.
time?
All right,
Okay.
it's confession hours.
I never watched this
So-
movie twice.
No, but you tried. You started it 2 times. You've watched it 2 different times.
This
I
is
got
what
this
we
one.
got.
I got this one,
I
Cam.
didn't fall
This is what we
asleep
gotta deal
during
with.
the
Wait,
movie.
I got this one. I got this one.
All right.
Oh,
Confess
yo,
the confession.
you guys gonna
What's
maybe
your
let
confession?
Croft talk?
Thank you, Teet. So the reality of the situation is,
You didn't watch the movie.
no, I watched the
Explain
movie.
your-
I watched the movie. When I was over at Moo's house a couple of weeks ago watching Infinity War, it was like a little slow. Well, not slow, but your boy, to quote Mike, rested his eyes. For a
I
couple
never
of-
said that. I never said that.
But like, all right,
He probably hasn't. Unless it was really.
All right, I'll tell you when. All right. So, well, first of all, if I'm about to fall asleep during a movie, I just turn the movie off because I hate to.
That's what I've
That's
done
what
now.
I did
That's
for
what
Scott
I've done
Pilgrim
that
the
first
first
time.
time.
I've done that
That's
every
what I
time.
did.
All right.
I turned it off.
We know that's what you do.
Because the only times I'll fall asleep for a movie is when I get like 3 hours sleep the previous night. But the only time I actually fell asleep during a film is when that movie is horrifically boring. Like Wrinkle in Time, my eyes were almost closing because it was so bad. Or Bird Box, oh god.
Yeah, same.
But no, when I want to watch a movie, I'm pretty good at keeping myself awake because I just lose myself in the movie and have a blast.
Yeah. I guess what happened to me was, so mine isn't me saying I fell asleep for 10 seconds while Last Girl was on the train, when the fact of the matter is me and Bonds are staring at Michael slump the whole movie. What happened was,
It's the
I-
same scene. That's what I'm saying.
what happened was I was so tired and my eyes were like this, but I was literally so afraid to fall asleep because like I was like, if Moo turns
You know-
around,
you know that
it's
what
the
you
end
get from
game.
me, yeah.
It's the end game.
Oh,
But no, I think like I was a little tired, but then somehow I woke myself up, and then it was like the pre-mock scene, so I was
Wait,
good.
you know what's really crazy about speaking about sleeping in movies? I rewatched Spirited Away with Kevin because he's never seen the movie, and first of all, 10 out of 10 movie. It's a perfect film. But I remember it was super late at night, so it was a time where I'm usually tired, and we're an hour in the movie, and my eyes feel heavy, but they're staying open like unconsciously because the movie is so damn good that
heck?
I couldn't like even if I tried to sleep, I couldn't because the movie was so like powerful. Like that's a perfect movie. If you've never seen Spirited Away, god damn, I can't.
That's
I
amazing.
can't. It's a perfect film.
I want to hear a little. I think we should get a little debate going.
Oh shoot.
I'm expecting a debate between Moo and Teet, and I'm gonna just drop the question:
Oh.
No.
Scott Pilgrim or Shaun of the Dead?
Oh. Oh. I thought you were gonna say something else.
Yeah, I
I thought you were
guys.
about to say
Me
Mad
too.
Max,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
I
don't want to get
here
into
we
that.
we don't need to get to Mad Max right now.
All right.
That was already done.
Scott Pilgrim or Shaun of the Dead? Both are basically perfect movies. I
That's a
personally enjoy Shaun of the Dead more, I think. But here's the thing about Edgar Wright. He makes movies that are so, like, objectively perfect, even though nothing's objective in cinema. Still, I think he makes movies that are so, like, perfect that you can argue for any of his movies, and I'm not mad because they're so good. Like, Shaun of the Dead, for me, I feel there's, like, this personal connection for me. That's why I enjoy it so much, and that's the one that, like, I get so inspired by from a filmmaking standpoint. Whenever I watch it, I'm just like, this is everything. This is so good. The acting, Simon Pegg, as I've said many times, one of the greatest actors we've ever seen. So when I watch Shaun of the Dead, it's more impactful to me. But that doesn't mean that, like, it's not a better movie than Scott Pilgrim. It's the one I prefer.
Yeah, I like how you're saying that. It's like they're all like so up there that it's like it just comes down to what that
Exactly.
small. It just comes down to personal differences.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Whether or
no,
not-
100%. Like I 100% agree. In my opinion, I think overall Scott Pilgrim is a better film, but I do love Shaun of the Dead. I think it's a fantastic movie, and it's just I mean, I guess you can compare the two, but at the same time, like with
They're
Scott Pilgrim, like they're extremely different. Scott Pilgrim, like you have that amazing soundtrack. Like, dude, that soundtrack.
Shaun of the Dead
is
uses some
so
pretty
good.
good music.
Okay,
though.
yeah,
Don't Stop
Shaun of
Me
the Dead
Now.
has good
Now and
music,
Queen.
but
Original
Scott
music
Pilgrim
Yeah.
vs. the World,
Yeah.
that original music is so good.
I didn't really like
And
the
that's what
music
really
in the
gets me.
beginning, honestly.
Really,
Like,
You
so-
not?
Really?
you didn't like the intro?
opening-
You
the
didn't like the
opening.
opening?
The Sex Bomb in the beginning.
Dude,
That's my
the
favorite song.
opening's amazing.
I
That's my favorite
That
song of the whole
is-
movie.
I liked
I-
Ramona a lot.
Ramona's good.
yes,
I
really.
hated,
Really?
I
Wow.
hated,
The opening
I hated
is
the
like-
opening song.
the
The
scene-
opening is amazing.
I've seen the opening alone. I've watched over 50 times just because I love that opening scene. That used to be
Yeah.
my go-to like sound check for my theater room
It's
because
amazing.
I just play that scene. I'm like, this is how you hook an audience right there.
That-
Just the 3, 2, 1.
It was
I
really cringy, like seeing her play drums too. Just like I was just like,
Oh,
How come?
I got two things I want to get into.
I
Also,
do,
yeah,
I
yeah,
do.
her-
Although I
that-
do
that girl is a little
appreciate how, like in some movies, aka Whiplash, a movie about drumming. God damn it, it doesn't line up with the
This
music.
movie's perfect.
Well,
for
like,
that. Scott
Brendan, the
Pilgrim's
thing
is
is-
And
perfect.
They
every
all
single time, like all
learned
the like the
instruments.
bass and stuff like that. Even though I don't understand, it was probably
perfect,
every
yeah.
single note is probably
Well,
actually played.
It was.
That's what I'm
they
saying.
all
So
learned.
that's why
They
I-
actually, Michael Cera was the only one who knew how to play his instrument. So everyone else had to
Wow,
learn
really?
The
to
rest
play
had to learn.
drums,
Wow.
had to learn how to play guitar, and how to sing.
Yeah.
So
And
That's
They
what
did- they
it's
didn't
just
play
kind of
everything.
cringy from a musician
Yeah.
but they
standpoint. But
just learned it.
in the opening scene, I also love the opening credits. Like, one of my favorite things for opening credits is to really stimulate the viewer. Like, it needs to be engaging. So a lot of opening credits. I love the movie, but Good Will Hunting's opening credits are so boring. But like this movie, like there's so many flashing colors, and your like mind is being blown. It sets you up for the energy of the rest of the movie, and I think the song is amazing. Also, I love the opening song.
Dude, the song. Just,
And
So
Beck is a lad and a half.
Yep.
I've developed a little theory here. I've run it by some guys. One of the reasons I think Andrew, and by Andrew I mean Teet, like Scott Pilgrim so much is because I think he is Scott Pilgrim.
I would hope
Whoa,
I'm not.
think
Scott.
about
the
it.
thing is,
You
I would hope I'm
are.
not. I would really hope I'm not.
Why?
Okay,
He's a
because-
good guy.
okay,
I'm not gonna lie,
no,
you
he's not.
guys do share
Okay, the
some-
thing is,
Like
right?
everything.
Michael Cera, or not Michael Cera,
Cera.
sorry, Scott Pilgrim. The actual character, when you look at him overall, he's actually a complete asshole. Which is a
Dang.
fact. He's an asshole. That's
Wait,
like
the character or
they-
he was that guy?
the character. He's a
Oh.
protagonist, but he's a complete dick. Like he's actually not a good person. Like just to be
Wow.
honest. And like, oh, I'm sorry. go on.
Why does he
But
sleep with his like brother?
He he
Nah,
makes
nah,
it
is that his
seem.
That's a
brother?
gay
That's his
friend.
roommate.
Yeah.
Oh, it's I
But
thought it was
like,
his brother.
let's think about it, right? So like he seems nice, but they show him like because this is all from his perspective,
Yeah.
right? So he seems like a nice guy, but when in reality he's not. Think of this: he cheats on people,
Yeah.
right? Dude, he's like,
I think
Yeah,
what the beautiful
he's
part about the movie
not
though
great.
is that it acknowledges it at the end when Knives is like, I'm too good for you or whatever, like because a lot of people are like, no, why didn't he end up with Knives? And like it's betraying
Well,
his
That's
character.
what
That's-
I actually wanted to ask you guys is what you felt about
I didn't want
Scott
him to
and
go with her.
Ramona ending up together.
I wanted
I love
I
that.
wanted that. I felt
Yeah,
like
same.
the
Yeah,
movie
same.
led me to want that to happen.
I feel
Yeah.
like if the
Yeah.
whole entire movie is fighting to
To
end
get
like
to
that,
her.
Yeah.
like even though Knives, but that's why it's so perfect when Knives like tells Scott like,
Yeah.
I'm too good for you anyways. It's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
There's closure for that arc, and now there's closure for this final one.
but
Yeah.
the thing is, have you guys seen the original ending? Originally,
There's an original.
he ended up with
There's an
knives.
alternate ending.
Whoa.
Yeah, he ended up with knives, and then they ended up reshooting it like a week or two before the movie actually came out.
I heard they
What?
actually.
No way.
It was like or something like that. They
I actually-
reshot it. They went back and reshot it.
I heard that they shot them both at the same time, and they originally kept the ending with him and Knives together, but to stay true to the comic books, they also shot the scene with Ramona and.
Wait, there's comic books?
Oh yeah,
There
based
are.
on
based
manga.
on
That's based off comics.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering why it looked like a comic. I was like,
Yeah,
what?
Yeah, no, that's why they get like all like
Some
the
of the
drawing.
original art, like from the comic books, is actually in the movies, where it has
What?
kind of the
That's
same
amazing.
animation sequences and stuff like that.
Yeah, all the scenes when they recap like the boyfriends with like the
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
cartoon
Yes,
panels,
that's right.
That's
Yeah.
all like kind of
Very
art.
cool.
I just want to acknowledge, boys, and maybe Audrey, you can agree with me on this. Ramona's pretty bad.
Facts.
Let's be real. Let's be real.
real.
Her hair
Ramona?
could be way better.
Could be way worse though, too. Trust me.
I don't know.
I-
Could it though?
Ramona's bad
Yeah,
to the
pretty bad.
bone.
Ramona, basically, they portrayed her as to be more colder because of the original ending with Knives. So then they wanted like audience to kind of like root for
Yeah, for
Knives
Knives,
and
yeah.
Scott. And I remember like at first, like especially like my first time watching it, I was like, why is he doing this to Knives? Like, cause I like Knives and stuff like that. But
Facts.
then like as you like go on, you like see like Scott and Ramona, then you kind of have to like accept the
Yeah,
fact
plus-
that like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think that her attempt. Sorry about that. I don't know why I said the word plus there, but her attempts. I think her attempts at like Knives, like I could say like stupid attempts throughout the movie, like when she like dyes her hair and stuff, kind of made me
Yeah.
like
That's funny.
hate the idea of like that working out. Like where her like she
Yeah.
gets away. I'm just like it's just like it's just I thought it was like it's just stupid like her doing that. Like I didn't want them to be together.
One of the things that Teet originally touched upon when he was going through why he loves the movie was the acting. And one of the really brilliant things about all Edgar Wright movies, but this one it especially shows, is how he makes his actors like at all times act like it's a basically they act like it's a dramatic film, like they act like it's a drama movie, but with the costume design mixed with the like outrageous comic book-esque plot line, it makes it so funny. Like I think the best example of this is the scene where he punches the highlights out of her hair when
Yeah.
Oh,
when
that's
he just
hilarious.
punches her and it's like
That's
he
amazing.
punched the highlights out of her hair.
Yeah.
And like everyone is so good in the movie. Like everyone,
Yes.
no one hams it up. Like
Yeah.
they look like they're having a ton of fun. Like Chris Evans playing like just another version of himself, just like a douchebag version of himself, is so entertaining. And speaking of that, I gotta start touching upon the damn sound design.
Ooh.
Wait, before you do that, who was the man's that like gets off the bus and then like the actor says action or something, and the guy's
That's,
just like, oh, okay.
It's what the name of the like that actor in the
Yeah,
movie.
Luke
that's-
Cage.
Yeah, Luke Cage.
Chris
yeah.
Evans'
Yeah.
character. Yeah.
It's hilarious.
That's
He's
so
like,
funny.
That's
action.
actually hilarious.
He's like,
Hilarious.
action.
That scene is
That's
so
really
funny.
good. I like that when it tracks with him too, and then he comes back. You know.
Also, tough shout out to the stunt team. I love how they shout out the stunt team, just like Lil Nine. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm nothing without my stunt team.
Yeah.
Dude,
Just
the
like-
thing is, that's actually Chris Evans' stunt team.
Yep, that's
What?
what
Yeah.
she said.
No,
That's his actual
yeah.
stunt team.
Holy
Which is just
crap!
crazy.
That's
It's
so
awesome.
cool.
Dude, it just shows how much detail.
There's
Dude,
so
they
much.
all look alike, but then
It's
there's that like
insane.
one Asian guy.
Yeah. Well, he still looks like I know,
But,
but he still
um,
looks like him. Yeah.
Stunt
Well,
doubles
first
for
of all,
the
I love how they
second
use the
class.
Universal music to introduce it.
Yeah, that's good.
such
'cause,
a
I mean,
funny
they
little
can
show.
because it's yeah, it's.
But yeah, the sound design is so good in this movie. There's so many ways they even use sound for comedy. Once again, when Chris Evans is gliding down, and the amount of sound, the volume when he's just going down, it's like, and then it cuts back to them just like, wow.
Yes, when he's skateboarding, when he's grinding on that.
That like contrast from how
Oh,
loud
yeah.
and soft it is
Yeah.
is so funny. Like all as I said, Edgar Wright takes every single piece of filmmaking and uses it to its fullest potential. The sound is ridiculously good, and the sound effects of him cracking his knuckles and like, oh, there's so much great sound.
Dude, this sound, like, one thing with the sound, actually, I do want to touch upon this, if that's okay. You know when they have, like, almost like the bios come up for each person, or like,
Yeah.
what,
Age,
different things?
whatever. Yeah, yeah.
They have different sounds dedicated to each
characters.
different character.
I do notice that.
And also, it's also interesting, because, you know, video games are, like, a big part of this movie. You know, the one scene near the beginning where Scott Pilgrim was like, she's Chinese or whatever. We were talking about knives or whatever. And he said,
Teet.
and the Zelda, a sound effect from Zelda comes up. And I just think that it's great they
There's-
implemented that. It's
There's
so
some
much-
awesome sounds in the movie. My favorite sound in the whole movie, 100%, is the sound when Ramona is like, and none of the breakups ended poorly, and then she's like, oh, about Kim, she's like, Kim had no, she's like, no, Kim's perfectly fine, and then it like pulls focus to Kim, and it's just this weird like horror sound effect. It's like, it's so.
Is there a sound? Is there like? Do you guys remember hearing anything that goes like like an air sound, or am I completely like?
That
Yeah.
sound during the scene when they're going through the apartment,
Yeah.
and then they like show like.
Oh yes, yeah.
Oh, also, once again, lots of great push-ins and like cuts closer in every time to like make such like dramatic scenes. Oh man, no camera. Well, like make scenes feel so much more dramatic than they are, and then he also uses that as the joke when he's reading the email and like close it on the word like fight to the death and all that, and then he's like, this is boring and so much good shit. Edgar Wright, god damn. Such a good filmmaker.
What a lad, honestly.
I mean, every one of his movies, as I've said. That said, I've not seen Fistful of Fingers, but every one of his movies.
Fistful of Fury. Dude, I remember seeing The World's End without reading the description.
Oh yeah, Don't Let These Boys Know.
Fistful
But,
Oh my god, I read it without description.
I remember
Like you said,
is
and
that
I
one
was
of
like,
his?
holy shit.
yeah,
like,
I
it
always
was
tell
so
everyone
good.
that's about to see The World's End, that's the
Never
final
read
part of,
descriptions.
that's the final Cornetto trilogy one. Don't watch trailer. Don't know anything as little as you can. Just watch the movie because it makes the experience all the better. It's so much fun. And that movie has some wonderful action pieces, set pieces.
Oh, it does. It's true.
I'll find Mr.
It's
West
so
costume in your cubby, if that's alright.
Oh, it's true. Yeah, no, it's all
Sorry,
good. It's
sorry.
all good. It's all good.
Moo,
Yes?
lay down this recommendation, if you
Oh,
may.
100%. But let me just give a final thought about Scott Pilgrim, because I just love the movie so much.
It's so good.
Final thoughts. I do like Shaun of the Dead better. If to address Carl's question, I like the script better of Shaun of the Dead. I think that, for me personally, that British style of humor is so much funnier. And but Scott Pilgrim, it's a masterclass in editing. It's a masterclass in visual storytelling. Edgar Wright is a god. Do I hit him with it? 10 out of 10.
Wow. For Scott?
10 out of 10 for Scott.
Wow.
I agree.
What do you think?
I agree.
out of
I just completely agree. Yeah, it's an amazing film. Edgar Wright is Jesus Christ, our Lord and
Facts.
Savior. Basically, like let's just be honest.
Oh, consider it honest. Anyone want to give any final thoughts about the movie? What they thought?
Nah, I'm good.
7 out of 10.
Really?
Hey, that's
Seven?
not.
It's a
That's
great
not.
film.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah.
But
Listen, my
let me hear the flaws.
what?
Let me hear your flaws with the movie.
I don't know.
I just
Or
like.
is it just more of a subjective
Yeah, I was
type
gonna
thing?
say.
I don't know. I just feel like every movie there's a reason some people appeal to it and some people don't. Like
So it's
obviously
just, like,
Teet's
not
gonna appeal to it.
personal
Yeah, I just didn't
Connection with it.
like.
Fair enough.
Yeah, there's not a personal connection. Yeah, exactly.
I'll just say 9.5 out of 10. The only reason I don't bump it that extra 0.5, and there's really nothing wrong with the movie, and I can't blame the movie. It's just that, kind of like what Brendan said, it's a very specific movie, so I definitely would not be able to watch it when I'm in, like, for like every different mood, kind of like a Punch Drunk Love, where you can watch that when you feel anything. This is like kind of specific more.
enough.
Like I probably won't watch this if I'm in my bag.
Exactly.
yeah.
Oh, I
100%.
can watch this movie when I'm in my bag.
I just didn't really like the whole like video game comic
I
aspect
feel like it
to
works.
it. It definitely
it
works.
can.
I feel like
It
it's
can. It
one of those like
depends.
mood booster type of movie.
That's actually a fact. Now, I mean, it really depends on
Depends on
like.
the person.
It depends on like how you're feeling.
I
Because you
just-
know, yeah.
For
different
me,
moods.
I feel like this is one of those like anytime I can throw it on movies, to be
Really?
honest. I
I've
saw it
seen-
5
I've-
times in 1 week when I first got it on Blu-ray.
Jeez.
I watched.
Why?
I've seen that movie too many times.
times.
I've seen it. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. I've probably seen it at least
Spit it out.
maybe like
Spit it
definitely
out.
over 30 times.
What?
I've probably seen it over.
That's
30
kind of
times,
crazy, honestly.
Which I
Like,
know
that
sounds
is-
insane. I probably, definitely over
That's-
20. Maybe 30 is a bit too much.
Wow.
Definitely over 20.
Dude, that's
100%.
That's awesome,
literally
actually.
more than.
I've seen it a lot because I like watching
That's a
it, like
couple
because it
days
puts
of
me
just
like
watching
sometimes
it. Yeah.
I just like watching it.
It's
I'm like
wonderful
puts
film.
me in a good mood, and then I'm just like
There's many
ready to
movies
go.
that I've seen like way too many times for comfort.
Because like sometimes I'm just bored and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna watch some Scott Pilgrim,
Right?
and I throw it on and it's just this gets me every time.
It's wonderful.
I've seen, I think, Air Bud like 50.
Damn.
Oh my
Air
gosh.
Bud.
I've seen like
Bird
bench
Box.
warmers like 30 times.
Air Bud.
When I was
Bird
like,
Box.
when I was like 5. Yeah, that was a good one.
Spider-Man 2, that's the one I've probably seen the most. I've seen
Mm.
them beyond.
Listen, all I'm saying, I just want to clarify this now. All I'm saying is, I recommended Bird Box because I wanted to hear your
We
opinions.
know,
we
it's
know,
not
we
personal.
know.
What do you
But,
mean?
yeah, dude, with the feeling I have towards Scott Pilgrim, I think it definitely is kind of similar to you guys. I feel like I could watch it anytime. As soon as like I knew his recommendation, I remember thinking like, oh, I'm so freaking excited to be able to watch that tonight because like I just couldn't wait to get it like freaking playing and like it would have been a while since I had seen it before, but I just knew I
Seen
just
the whole
like I
thing.
know, but like I just even had gotten a taste of the style. I was very very excited to be able to watch it.
I remember
Yeah.
I showed this movie to Eugene Kwan because
Yo.
we were watching, well, alright, I'm not going into the whole backstory because there's way too much, but basically I needed to show Eugene Raiders of the Lost Ark, and on that same day, we watched Scott Pilgrim. It was a great double feature.
Did he not see Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Do I have to go through the whole story?
Don't go.
I'm sorry. I was just like.
No, I gotta go through
No.
the whole story.
Next
I gotta
week, next
do
week,
it.
next week.
I gotta do it!
It's about a
If you
storm.
go, I'm leaving.
Oh, facts 425. Alright. Well, I'll save that story for later.
All right, I'll hear it on the big podcast next week. I'll hear it.
But thank y'all for listening.
Thanks for coming on.
Let me give the recommendation for next week and we can rack it up. I know.
Sorry.
Wait.
And you know what? You got the wrong recommendation because the recommendation next week is Rocky 4
Wow.
because we're gonna have
Emotional.
Mr. Hart on for our final time with Mr. Hart in the podcast, and we believe that it's only fitting we talk about his favorite Rocky movie, Rocky 4.